Well, this is going to be day 3 of starting to set out rebar and stuff on the solar ground mount array. It's a concrete slab surrounded by a wall to keep brush fires and stuff out of the panels, and wind damage from your typhoons. They've drug some more bars out from inside the house, and they'll be handing them down off the roof. They have to drag them out through a window, so it's slow going, couple, 2 or 3 at a time. Trying to arrange things a bit here. It'd be nice if it didn't look so crooked. Southeast corner. A lot of this was done the previous day, so I'm not sure why we have of course, this picture might have been sent after I did the other video yesterday. Okay. This is the east side. You can see notched boards down here. I wasn't clear about the fact that there's going to be a 5-foot round window here and a door over here on the other side, and that we didn't need any uprights. So it's going to cost 6 man-hours of labor to cut the tie wires, get them out of the concrete, and so they won't be sticking up, and put the correct bars in there. Better than that, we'll be cutting off short pieces and replacing them with long bars. So, I don't think there's anything noteworthy here, except that we're missing a bar right here along the bottom of these uprights, and then there'll be a piece every 5th upright comes out that we're going to set some bars on for the footer. Now I realize those will be 6 inches off the bottom of the concrete, which is closer to the top than the bottom. But the pressure will be probably pretty much on the top, and they're mainly to keep a crack from having 2 pieces wander away from each other. So I can justify having it, up there rather than in the bottom of the ditch. Okay, we're going to paint some more bars. He's got a bunch of angle bent bars over here in the background. He's up on the mezzanine roof right now. And that's how sometimes we have 2 people, like, Gloria and, what's her name? Been with us for 15 years, can't never remember her name. Golly. Anyway, when they do that, they get a handful of bars and spread them out flat, about a 1/2 inch between them, and somebody just bears down on them on one end so they don't roll over while you run the roller on them. It goes really quick. I don't think there's any real difference in the cost with the 2 people versus 1, because the productivity goes up, and I just let them do it either way, whatever they want to do. He's the foreman. And it looks like he's lost at least 5 pounds. I don't know. He's generally a little chubby. He may have somebody out here out of the camp. Somebody's taking the pictures. That's where the other person is. Okay. Well, I was just putting a concrete spacer under that to hold it up higher than the 1.5 inches for some reason while he's probably going to put a notch board in or out for some reason. And then you got Benji back here with his new hat. And Nane. Name's Alicio. And his wife named his daughter Elise. He runs the mixer mostly. He also does finishing. He may be as good a finisher as his brother Boyette, but Boyette is the primary finisher, and he's the primary on the running the mixer. And he keeps it cleaned up. That there's a a discoloration from concrete on the mixer, but there's no buildup concrete anywhere on it or in it. He paints it every once in a while too. We're missing skim coat up here a couple places on this upper level, and I don't know why, because I thought we did that at the beginning of the pandemic. He's the guy that does that skim coat, the upstairs skim coat. I'll have to ask him. We probably pulled him off for other things and just never let him get back to it, and out of sight, out of mind. Same three guys. I'm not sure what the bucket's doing out here, unless they got a half a bucket of tie wires. Usually we have them grouped in like 50, like bent in a V, and they just hang it on a bar. But a bucket's a bucket. Bucket looks empty to me. They've got the dividing board here on the footer for the between separating the three pours. A little congested today. So this is 1/3. They're within an inch of each other, the three pours. So what you see here, it's actually 1/3 this total length back to here. Though it looks like the back's almost the same size as this, it's actually twice the width of this. It's just what the camera shows. Okay, I think what they've done here is we have one short pre-cut piece and then a 20-foot bar. And I told them just to add the next 20-foot bar to get past where the separation is in the concrete. Yeah. But it could be, you could do it either way. I think they did that just to make it easier to walk around. And once they pour this, then they'll have their mixer probably on this slab, and they can stack all their bags, up closer too. The closer you get that stuff, the less people you need on pour day. Okay, he's finished up those bars he was painting. And somebody pushed record rather than picture. You got to be real careful in this walking around. When they get all the tie wires in here, you can see that those squares are not a whole lot bigger than his feet. And those little ends, if you don't just push them just right when you take that the twister off, then they can scratch them up pretty bad. Sometimes they put 2-foot strips of phenolic board down to do the major walking, but they haven't got it down here because there's just not that much to warrant it. I don't know if that's shorter bars. It's a different place on the house. I don't know exactly where he is. Oh, he's downstairs. This is the gutter down here. Rain gutter. The idea of the gutter was to keep stuff from splashing up this color in the building. I would say that didn't work. He's in the gutter there, too. It's got to be harder. Oh, and this is the dirty kitchen over here. It's not been skim coated yet. The outside's supposed to get skim coat. The inside is a combination of porcelain tile, ceramic tile, and painted ceiling. Still haven't got this bar down to the bottom down here. But they've relocated the window opening and door opening, so that part looks like it's ready. Yeah, they're starting to put down some plastic on this other side over here. Reason being, I want to count how many bars we got. I want to make sure we got enough for the floor, because we're going to pour that before the rainy season, which starts in just before June, end of May. So we got 6 or 7 weeks of relatively dry weather, and I want to get this slab down. We can put the walls on this and the walls on the prawn tank, and I think we have one fish tank that hasn't got walls yet. And we can do that any time of the year because we just throw a piece of this tarp over the forms to keep them dry. And someday it's not raining. And also, when you're pouring slip form walls, very little surface area on the top, just the width of the thickness of the concrete. So if you had a downpour of rain, there's not enough water going to get into the concrete to degrade it, because we're going to pull a tarp over it while we go hide for the rain to quit. Just be a little bit on it before they throw a tarp over it. And as soon as the rain lets up, they'll go back and finish it. And they can put the next mix in there a little drier to soak up the water. They're real good at that part of it. They're real good at pretty much all of this. You got to remember, these guys started out as fishermen and people who built mats out of reeds. I don't know what they call them, but there's a name for them. They use them for roofs and stuff. They're woven together. They're not the NEPA kind of stuff that you see. It's a different product altogether. They're made out of reeds that grow individually. But some of them did that, and some of them worked on other people's fishing boats. And they built this concrete house with zero experience. And my Filipino wife is running the construction, and she's got zero experience. But she's good with the paperwork and the books. Okay, we're showing that the... Nope, we're not either. Well, that's their slide that they're going to slide this stuff down. Now, I couldn't tell you why they have got bags of stuff in the inside. Maybe it'll show up later. The mixer is in the northeast corner. They're going to get that mixer as close to the work site as they can. And anytime they can take these spacer blocks out and roll the mixer around on top of the rebar. So they can do a lot of work without putting down any plywood to set the mixer on. And but you don't want to mix concrete over here, because when you're dumping it out into something or into the buckets, whatever lands on that plastic down there, you have to get it up. It'd just be like honeycomb in the bottom, and water and salt could get to your rebar. So they either have to put something down to they can shovel off of, or put the mixer inside of what they're actually pouring, which is what we always do. Don't know what they'll do this time, but that's how they're supposed to be doing it. Oh, you can see there's a pretty generous power room here. It's 12 or 14 feet by 30 feet. That's just the amount inverters and batteries. There's nothing else that goes in that room. And they're going to be spread. They're not going to be 8 inches apart like the minimum on the installation manual. They're going to be like 4 feet apart. And the batteries will go between the inverters. So any heat that rises, any warmed air will go to the ceiling. And then we have an exhaust fan up there with some PVC pipe to take it and blow it outside. But you don't want to have one electronic component on top of the other one, have the hot air going into it. And also you want that natural circulation. So I'm going to bend, they call it break, some galvanized metal and make some, I guess you call them like wave guides. One above the inverter and one below. So we suck the cold air off to the floor, and then any heat on the inverter will heat the air, and the air will rise to the ceiling, and the ceiling is slanted so that it goes up along one edge, and then we blow it outside. All this electronics has got to be kept cool as you can. There's ratings on it. We shouldn't be in trouble if we did nothing. Okay, these are the, we called them on the drawings, called them the black bars, but you can tell that they're white in actuality here. But these are the ones that go along the south wall, one end to the other. Every 7 3/4 inches you get a bar. And they've carried some down there. And this is, they put plastic down. My wife, she's decided these are going to be mirror images, except that there's no door on this other side. That power room is sealed of concrete except for an access door to get into it to service it, because we don't want any dampness or blowing rain to go in there where the electronics are. It can't be condensing humidity. I don't know if it takes a humidifier or the thing will just stay all right because of the sun shining on the top of it might heat the air in there enough that it doesn't condense humidity. You won't know till we try it. Anyway, she's going to lay out the a mirror image down here of this same thing, and then connect this middle last. We're trying to use up all the well, we don't mean use up. We want to place all the bars we need. Hopefully, we got more than we need, because it was originally intended to do 4 feet of wall all the way around this with that original bar order. But I miscounted the bars on these columns by half. Took 27 more bars than what we had ordered. But I figured that wasn't a problem because I was stealing bars off the walls, and we're not going to pour those to rainy season anyway. You don't like to have a lot of them sitting around, but we got late on the rain and just stopped on this and did inside work. Here's another batch of these. I'm glad he keeps finding them. But they've had to carry those out of the house through the rooms. They got to be double tough. Well, you got the stuff splashed up on the wall. So this is the rain gutter down here. He's down on the bottom. And what was that? Unpainted, painted. Same mess on the walls. The same picture. They're carrying 5 bars. You can carry 3 bars, but you can't carry 4. You can carry 5 bars, but you can't carry 6. You can carry 7 bars. When I'm doing 5/8 bars, like when I built the house I built, I carried 7. And crosswise, you don't ever try to carry them lengthwise. But I would carry 7 up a ramp and did all my bars that way. Well, the reason what you're doing is you're trying not to get pinched between the bars. When you pick them up and they all go together, it grabs you. And some of these numbers don't work. 4 doesn't work, for instance. 6 doesn't work because they continually roll around and shift while you're trying to carry them, and they pinch you. So if I was 300 pounds, so 7 bars was no problem. Up a ladder, it was no problem. But these guys, they're like 125 pounds maybe. Some of them, one of them is less than 100 pounds, but most of them is 125, maybe 130. The 2 girls that work on this crew, actually was 3. One's gone to be a nanny for some people in Manila. They're all in the same weight class as these guys. So we don't cut them any slack. Everybody gets assigned by when we need them, not what they like to do so much or by what they weigh. People like Nane, Alicio, and Boyette are just incredibly strong. But they're also skilled labor, so we don't put them on the heavy-duty stuff any more than we have to. Well, this is the west side. This is the mirror image side. And they've apparently done this morning. Put all these bars in because there was nothing there. And part of this plastic wasn't there at the end of pictures yesterday. So this is new work here. There's a lot of tie wires on that. I don't know if it's 100% tied, but there's quite a few wires. You can if you know how to see them. See, like that's one, and 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 that's one. Oh, you can see out here we got a notch board laid out, And the end notch is the last one that was not in a notch board on this first grid. So he can put a bar in every one of them notches down to the other end. He'll have a another notch board on over here someplace when he does it. And then you see one here. That's for the bottom bars. This end, all they have to do is tie it to the previous bars. Ideally, you want to tie them all on the same side. Doesn't make any difference which side. But if you put one on the left and one on the right, then you have a wide space and a narrow space. That's not a good idea. So the idea is that just wherever you put the first one, all the other ones tied to the same side, the whole grid. And we got Benji and Al out there today on that.